in southern Tasmania. Apologies, everyone. I advertised this live for 10:30 and I'm going live a wee bit early today, only because I am recording videos for my beginners class, and this was a lull in the videos, and I needed to sort of either come on live and then put off the next video, or do the next video and risk being late for my live. So I decided to come live now, and then I can get back on with my videos after we've finished our beautiful card that we're going to make together. I'm just going to check my volume. Apologies. Beautiful. Oh, there we go. I'm actually on my phone rather than my laptop, so the writing is really, really little. So if I don't see your comments, please forgive me, and I'll come back to them later. Okay, a couple of advertising things while people get their notifications and join us. I am taking expressions of interest, or I'm taking selling places for my September to December 2023 mini catalogue online launch party at the moment. So it costs 75 Australian dollars. It's obviously only available to Australian customers. 75 Australian dollars. For that, you get at least $55 worth of product, plus a prize draw, plus a $15 product credit voucher, and the best part of a day full of demonstrations, live crafting, craft along. We actually will craft 2 cards together during the day as well, and it's a great day, and previous ones have gone really well, so hopefully you can join me for that. Also, I'm very proud of at the moment and really excited that I've actually sold my first introduction to card making course, which is really exciting. I had been advertising it a few times and finally got somebody put their hand up, so it's great. Hopefully it's the first of many. My introduction to card making course. Work at home at your own pace. You get everything you need to make 10 cards. It's really for beginners. It starts as simple as just normal stamping success tips, cutting your own card bases, right through to things like fussy cutting and a simple fun fold as well. So stamping off a few techniques and things that we use every day, but for beginners and people who are coming back to card making after a bit of time away and would like to have a bit of a refresher. So for the $85.50, you actually get $85.50 worth of product plus free cardstock, bling, ribbon. Yeah, so hopefully it's a good economical way to see whether you like card making enough to start doing it yourself. I also have my product shares at the moment. We have a paper product share, a quarter pack of 8 papers. That costs $38 plus $10 postage. That's a really handy one to try the beautiful designs before you invest in full packs. And I also have my separate bling ribbon share, so embellishments and ribbon, and you get half a pack of 5 new bling and half a roll of brand new ribbon as well. So that's $64 plus $10 postage and handling. Do both of them together, you get that for both of them for $100 plus a single $10. So that's saving another $12 on top of the individual prices. I think that's basically all that I have going on at the moment. Really excited about all of those things, and hopefully you can see something there that you'd like to do. Hopefully that won't break the bank too much. Anyway, so let's hide that. So I'm going to be using I'm going to be making this card for you today using these Abundant Beauty decorative masks. Okay, so they are in the upcoming mini catalogue, so the Christmas holiday catalogue. I'm not sure, they're not particularly Christmassy or holiday-y. I suppose sunflowers are quite sort of, I don't know, it's quite sort of spring really, but anyway, so they're really, really nice. I've actually fussy cut them here, so fussy cutting alert. If you don't like fussy cutting, please turn away, because there's a fair bit of it here and I'm going to be doing it live. So yeah, so probably best to grab a coffee and settle in. We'll just have a look at the chats. As you're jumping in, please say hi, tell me where you're watching from, and if this is your first time, please let me know that as well. So the decorative mask, there's such a lot in here. We're going to be using the sunflower one, And it basically comes in, I think, four separate layers. So you use them to layer up the colours. The first one we use is the sunflowers themselves. Then we add the leaves, and then we add the centres of the sunflowers, and then we add the detail to the centres. So that builds up our beautiful sunflowers and leaves. And I thought, just to get a bit of use out of something that I've probably neglected a wee bit, I'm going to make the background with this really nice sort of grid design as well. So we're going to use that one as well. So we'll get a bit of use of all these beautiful masks. Okay, we might as well get started, and we'll get it going. As I say, I'm recording the videos for my introductory class, which I probably should have done before, but I wasn't really sure I was going to get anyone keen to do it, so I sort of left the videos till the last minute. Okay, so we'll start with our sunflowers. There's 3 of them there, you can see there. I've got quite a large piece of very vanilla cardstock here, basically because it's a 6x6, and I just couldn't be bothered cutting that down to start with, so I'll place it on there. I'm going to use a combination of Daffodil Delight, Garden Green and Crumb Cake. So they're the 3 colours I'm going to use to make our sunflowers. Obviously, the sunflowers themselves will be Daffodil Delight. I'm going to use my little sponge, my little blending brushes. This is a small one. So we have 2 sizes in blending brushes now. We have a big one and a little one. So everyone tell me, because I've been having some horrible time with my internet connection. Can you tell me if it goes blurry or laggy at any stage? Mostly because I've moved the modem into the hallway, so it is actually direct line of sight to my craft room. So hopefully that will make it better, because I've been having some, as I say, some terrible trouble. I've been asking the boys on chat how I can improve it, and they've basically had no ideas either, apart from buying expensive routers and web thingies, and anyway, all technical jargon that was going to cost me a lot of money. So I thought, well, I'll try moving the modem into the hallway first and see how that goes. But it seems pretty clear at the moment watching it on my phone. Let's see how we go. So I'm just using my Daffodil Delight and my little brush and just going over the mask just so that it goes through onto the very vanilla cardstock. And there we are. Okay, so if I bring this away, this is the best bit, when I bring it away, and you've got such cool little flowers. That is so cool. I'll put that aside and give it a good clean later. Okay, so the next one we're going to bring in is the leaves. So I'll swap away from my yellow brush and bring in my green brush. So we just position these as well. And so the 3 leaves, I'm going to fussy cut this so it doesn't matter too much. Make sure I got it up the right way. It's not going to matter too much positioning, because I am going to fussy cut these. So in a second anyway. Grabbing my green brush, my garden green ink, and we're just going over that. So when she jumps on, everyone needs to say happy birthday. Or if we see Sally jump on, everyone needs to say happy birthday. It's Sally's birthday today. I'm going to be headed out this afternoon. That's why I wanted to also get my videos done early. Heading out this afternoon to do some deliveries, not just to Sally, but to a few other people as well. So Rose, I'm coming your way. And Tammy, I'm coming your way as well. So delivery day today. Here we go. So that's our garden green leaves. I'll bring the whole thing closest to you in a second so you can see how it actually looks. Now, you could make a card just out of this scene, so you don't have to fussy cut it. I know a lot of people aren't keen on the fussy cutting, so I will, don't forget, thank you, Deb, I won't forget the ribbon. I've got it sitting here somewhere, it was in line of sight. There we go. So there it is. It's ready to come into action. So this is my crumb cake crumb, as I called it for the first 5 years of my demonstratorship, crumb cake. So these are the centres of the little sunflowers. I'm assuming they're sunflowers, a bit big for daisies. crumb cake. So I need to swap into my brown brush. And I'm going to keep this fairly light. Well, that's the plan anyway. So it's just a very light crumb cake centre. And the reason I'm doing it fairly light is, it's not coming out any other way, it's because I'm going to come in again with the detail in the same colour. So it's going to darken that. I tried, the very first time I came back the detail I did in early espresso, which is really dark. And it was just too stark. It just, didn't look, I didn't like it anyway. So there's our crumb cake centres. Now look, I just like that. To be honest, that is pretty much done in my view, but I will use the last mask so you can see what the last mask looks like. I like that. That's mine end finished. So let's bring in the last one. That's in this position. So we're just lining it up again. There we are. As I say, going to just come back in with the crumb cake. So it's just going to be a slightly darker version of the same colour. And hopefully you'll see what I mean in a second, that you don't really need, in my view, you don't need much else. There we are. How's that? Cute, eh? So you can see this one is sort of pointing to the sun in that direction. This one looks like it's pointing in that direction, and this one looks like it's sort of pointing towards us, or maybe up a wee bit. That's important when it comes to how I'm going to pop them on the card. Okay, perfect the way they are, but I really, 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 really like the effect when they've been popped through an embossing folder. So I'm going to put them through my exposed brick embossing folder, obviously not with the size of paper that they've got. I'm going to cut the paper down and pop it through. Because I'm not using it for a card base, it doesn't really matter how rough and ready my cutting is, because it's going to be fussy cut anyway. I'm going to pop these in the embossing folder, make sure I get it the right way up. Not really sure which is the right way up for this embossing folder, whether the mortar in the bricks should be pointing upwards or whether the mortar in the bricks should be facing downwards. It's sort of like pointing upwards. It's sort of like the bricks have worn away, but the mortar's still there. It's sort of almost like that. But that's okay. That's what I'll do. I don't know what anyone else does, but anyway. Just going to bring in my cut and embossing machine and my embossing plate. Hopefully without making any loud noises. There we are. Get that brush gone. Keep that one. We need that one. So I'm popping that through my embossing plate. And this just gives it, it's a bit hard. This gives it just an extra element, in my view. Just makes it sort of a special, makes it pretty special. Okay, there we are. We'll get rid of that. We don't need that now. Oh, well, you need it one more time, but I'll bring it back when it's ready. Okay, so now with the warning, fussy cutting warning, I'm going to fussy cut these out. So if you don't like fussy cutting, you might like watching other people fussy cut. You know, you never know. You might be one of those people who likes to watch but doesn't like to do it themselves. Anyway, I'm going to fussy cut them. It's not particularly fussy cutting because I'm leaving quite a wide, very vanilla in this case, border around the edge. And my logic for that is because, and you'll see what I mean, obviously, the parts of these images have got quite wide holes in them anyway. So I thought, well, just to be consistent with the design, they probably needed to have quite wide borders around the edge as well. I think it would look silly if I'd left all those white veins inside and not left the same sort of border on the outside as well. That's my logic anyway. I will do one of these, a design with these cards where I leave them in one place, in one piece, but today I just had the urge to fussy cut. Now, this card I'm making for an actual reason. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, I've got a neighbour down the street who, I'm not really sure what her name is, but I haven't seen her husband for a while, and I was traumatising whether I send her a card. I hadn't even seen her to speak to, and really didn't feel comfortable because I wanted to tell them that my dad had passed, but, you know, if her husband's just passed, then it's not really an appropriate conversation. So this is the card that's going to break the ice. It's going to be like a thinking of you or a hello or something like that. So wish me luck. It could end up quite, I don't know. I'm hoping it ends up with her realising that I'm thinking about her, even though I don't really know what her name is. You don't have to know what someone's name is to think about them, because they're always very friendly and always say hello when you walk past their house. Up till recently when I haven't seen them. So anyway, you make all these cards, you might as well use them for what they're intended, to spread a little happiness. Okay, again, I'm fussy cutting this, leaving a quite large border. I don't know how you guys fussy cut, but I tend to keep my scissors quite still and move the paper. That tends to work better for me than moving the scissors all around. It's funny, putting together my beginner's course makes you think about a lot of things that you don't think about. Does that make sense? How do I fussy cut? Can I give somebody a hint on stamping? You know, all those sorts of things that you don't think about when you've been doing it for a while and you're just doing it. And you sort of know that your audience is, if you know, as experienced, if not more experienced than you. So knowing that this is a beginner's course, I've had to rethink a lot of my explanations, which is good. So if you know of anyone who you know that watches videos but wants to start card making and doesn't know where to start, please point them in my direction. There we go. So that's our big one. Very cute. So that image still seems to be quite sharp. Is anyone noticing any blurriness where they are? I'm watching it on my phone at the same time, but the phone image is the screen is so small that just about anything would look focused. Just on the bigger screens that it might be causing an issue. How do you fussy cut? Do you move your scissors or do you move your cardstock? Or do you just avoid it altogether like the plague and never do a card that needs fussy cutting? That could be some of you. That could be some of you that I know quite well who have to do homework sometimes and complain bitterly. Okay, so this is the smallest flower. Went for a, just while I'm doing this, yesterday I went to a little village I suppose, a little town south of here called Signet with my mum. We'd been there before when Dad got sick because he used to go there as a younger man with his parents who had a holiday house. I'm going to call it a shack, and it was really a shack. It was like a dirt floor, outdoor cooking, outdoor toilet. The toilet was like a little hole in the ground. It was a big hole in the ground, with a shed built around it. And every day it was somebody's job to empty it and bury it, what had happened the night before. Anyway, it was a real shack, but he loved it. And so when he got sick, we went for a drive down to see if we could find it. And we did, which was it was lovely. I've never seen him from when he got sick. He was really animated and happy to be down there. Walked up the hill to this house, to have a proper look. And we hadn't seen him walk anywhere for ages because he couldn't breathe. But he walked up this hill. So anyway, we went down there again with Mum. Or I did yesterday for a bit of a drive and some shopping. She's a shopping-aholic at the moment. Anyway, we did some shopping. So it said to herself, we've come from a capital city to a small town for you to go shopping. And you could have probably found whatever you wanted in the next suburb. But anyway, all good. Okay, little leaf. Okay, and then one more. One more flower. Okay, looks like the reception or the uploads and downloads are okay. That's good to know. As I say, I did move the router into the hallway so it had direct line of sight, so to speak, with my craft room. I wouldn't think that would make much difference, but it seems to, unless they were having difficulties the other day, who knows. Sorry if I'm mumbling. Am I mumbling? I'll bring my mic a bit closer. Just a mumbling while I fussy cut. Anyway. Yes, very excited that this lady has bought my beginners class. I'm really excited. I hope she enjoys it. Hopefully there'll be more. I'm actually going to make it. I've got some of the team watching. I think I saw Deb. There's a few of my team watching today. Usually are my wonderful supportive team. I'm actually going to pop once it's done, I'm going to pop the beginners course up in our group for you guys to use. Now I know that none of you are beginners by any stretch. You've all been doing it for a long, wonderful time. But I thought access to it might help you guys with some of your beginners if you want to. You could use my videos and you guys sell the product around it. So that's my thoughts. If you'd like to use it when I'm finished, I will pop it up, and so it'll be a PDF with video links as usual. But anyway, hopefully it'll drum up some business for all of us. We'll see how we go. So there we go. That's our fussy cutting. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my fussy cutting, Deb. There we are. So we'll pop those aside. We're going to pop those onto our card in a second once I've sponged the background. Keep them safe. Put them somewhere safe, Julianne, over here. Okay. Next, I'm going to cut my card base. I haven't actually cut my card base. I've been so busy with these videos. Sort of didn't prepare to my usual standard. But that's all right. The course is teaching how to cut card bases, so I just keep keep going and doing it. Okay, I'm using a 5.5-inch high card, scored at 4 1/8, or exactly in half for A4. There we go. It's never exactly 4 1/8, is it? I just have to take that little bit extra off. There we are. So that's our card base. I'm then going to pop a layer of, because this is going to that special lady up the road, I'm going to pop pieces of cardstock inside. So this is 4 inches by 5 3/8. So that fits inside. Might pop that in now so I don't use it and regret it. Here we are. I'll just let that dry for a second. And on the outside, we'll pop that over here, keep that safe as well. Also in Very Vanilla, I'm going to use my outside layer. I'm going to make it slightly smaller. Yeah, I will make it slightly smaller. So it's going to be 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. I'll pop the metric measurements in the description if that's handy to anyone. So that's our outside cover. So this is the one I'm going to pop my, pop my everything onto. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to make this a thinking of you or something like that, something that's friendly but not too familiar. So there's a thinking of you in the Seasons of Chic that I might use. We'll see how we go. We might revert to the original card if this doesn't work out. But anyway, let's see how it goes. Pop that on there. Going to use my, where have you disappeared to? My crumb cake ink. I can see my garden green and my yellow, but not my crumb cake. Where did I put it? No, over here, where the safe things go. That wasn't very good. Okay, so over where the safe things are, I've got my thinking of you. It's probably a wee bit bigger than I would have wanted. Anyway, we'll give it a go. I'm going to pop that right down here in the bottom right-hand corner. And then hopefully build everything up around it as we go. I'll keep that out. And then on this piece of cardstock, I'm going to pop our mask. So this one, this pattern mask. But I'm not going to go crazy mad with it. I'm going to put it just in the centre and extending out a wee bit to the top. Oh, just dropped everything I was trying to keep safe. Typical. Okay, just extending a wee bit out to the top and the sides, and you can sort of see it peek out either side. So it's just sort of in a strip like this. It's really just to give the cardstock a wee bit of interest. And then I'm going to pop it through an embossing folder again as well anyway. So I'm lining that up, starting here in the middle and working my way to the top corner. And then down to the bottom corner, top right, bottom left. Okay, maybe a little bit over there where the sentiment is and the top, but mostly in that centre right. Oh, a little bit more than I did on the other one. Here we go. So that's how that mask comes out. Isn't that sort of like a special fabric design or something? Isn't it like a, I don't know, Dolce & Gabbana pattern or something? Yeah, someone may know. I'm not really into high fashion, but it does look familiar. I've seen it on a handbag or something, if somebody's seen that. Okay, I'm going to grab my embossing folder and embossing machine again. There we go. Again, I'm going to pop it through the distressed brick folder. Try and keep it straight because brick walls should be straight. There we are. David Jones. It's a David Jones. Well, it must be something American as well, because I doubt Americans would know what David Jones was. But yes, you're right, aren't you, Vicky? I know now. I remember it from when we lived in Melbourne. Don't have a David Jones down here. There we are. But we do have decorative masks. I'll get rid of that now. We don't need it anymore. Okay, I think it's ribbon time. Ribbon time. Okay, so it's going to sit onto our card base like that. But first of all, I'm going to pop some ribbon on. Ooh, somebody just messaged me. Hope everything's okay. I can't look at the moment. Okay, so I need a piece of ribbon that is just longer than my card is wide. My scissors aren't very sharp. I found one, someone who shall remain nameless, cutting his toenails with my crafting scissors the other day. And I think it was these ones, because they're not quite the same now. I need to probably bill him for another set and put those in the bathroom for him to keep using. Yes, I wasn't impressed. You can do many things to me, but not use my scissors to cut your toenails, especially my craft scissors. Stevie's actually up with his parents at the moment. His parents live up near Devonport. I think we've spoken about it's near where your son lives, isn't it, Deb? Up that way. So he's up with his parents now. He spent Sunday night with our youngest in Launceston and then headed up to see his parents. So he'll be home tomorrow. I wouldn't tell him, but I do miss him. There we are. So that's as far as the ribbon is going to go at this stage, just so that I can add it to my card base, and then I'll come back in and tie a bow. The dreaded bow. I'll come back and tie a bow later when we're done. Yeah. Okay, now let's find our daisies, our sunflowers that we kept safe. Let's hope I can find them. Leaf, leaf, 3 flowers. There should be one more leaf. There it is. Found them. Okay, so we're going to pop these onto the front of our card. Don't they look just so good? Look at them from a distance. They almost look 3D. That's really, yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so we're going to place the large one, and keep in mind the way we mentioned that they actually sort of face the sun. And because I've embossed it with the brick embossing folder, I can make sure that I keep the orientation the same. So you see the bricks on this one, they go that way, side by side, that way. So I'm going to pop this onto the card, sort of so that the bricks are still in the right way. They're sideways like that, not up and down or not sideways or not diagonal. So this one is just going to be glued on. A fair bit of glue because it has to capture the ribbon as well. Now I wanted to bring it up. When I did this card, I was a little bit disappointed that it was a bit low. The pattern was a bit low. So I want to bring it up probably 1 centimetre, I think, at least. So maybe like that. Just bring it up a wee bit. There we are. So that'll capture our ribbon as well, so our ribbon's not going anywhere. Then our larger daisy, or sunflower, I keep calling them daisies, is going there to the left. And again, I've kept the bricks sort of horizontal. I'm going to pop this one on some dimensionals. Now, Deb, you reckon it's a houndstooth pattern. Okay. I knew it would have to have like a formal name. So it's obviously something that various retailers have used for their patterns. Okay, so that one's there. Yeah, that's much better, that placement, I think. And then this little guy is going on the top, towards the top. Again, keeping my bricks straight, he can pop in up here. Trying to make sure I get it in the same position as the original card, because I liked the positioning in the original card. There we are. Now some leaves. I always love adding my leaves to these designs. They just really lift it. And I think they're going to play off the ribbon really nicely, I think, as well. So love it. Really sort of earthy tones, autumn tones. But I don't know when sunflowers actually come out. So if they're autumn things, I know my mums are just growing, so maybe they're spring. Mum always gets beautiful big sunflowers. So this leaf is a bit of a curly, weird leaf, this one. I don't remember where it was on the mask, but it's a bit weird. Anyway, we'll pop him in over here. No, my bow's going there, so this one has to change slightly. He can go, because I want my bow in there. He can go maybe here. He can go down here. And the last one can go up there. Here we are. That's gorgeous, if I have to say so myself. I'm being very immodest, very un-Australian, isn't it? But that's pretty good. I think the lady up the road's going to know that. I'm going to find out her name. This is my pledge to you, that if at the end of this I'm actually going to find out her name, and I'll report back. You can keep me accountable, but I am going to find out this lady's name. Okay, so I'm going to tie a bow with what's another piece of our ribbon. Oh, I should say this ribbon is the garden green, is a combo pack in the annual catalogue. It's real red and garden green together in the one pack. I think that's basically what it's called, garden green, real red combo ribbon pack. So anyway, this is the garden green of that. I'll slip that under there. Tie off my bow. Hopefully not a disaster. Oh, no, nearly had it. Oh, I truly hate bows. I was doing when I was designing the cards for my beginners course, I got to the part where I thought, now you should really introduce bows here, Julianne. And then I thought to myself, who am I to teach anyone how to do a bow? I am the worst bow person in the planet. I mean, I even have to have people remind me to pop them on. So really, they should be teaching me how to tie bows. And I keep on picking up the toenail scissors, which aren't working. Yeah, I even texted my mum at some stage and said, I hate bows. How do I tie a bow? Because mum used to tie bows in my hair all the time when I was little. Just I didn't go to school without a bow in my hair, but mum tied them. And her answer to me was, go on to Google and Google how to tie bows. I thought, well, thanks, Mum. A lot of help. Not. Anyhow, there's my bow, rightly or wrongly. There we are. I was determined to get it on there. There we are. Okay, so that's our bow. But I think the green really lifts the, the whole design with the leaves and everything. So we'll stick with the bow. I have to overcome my fear. And now, as far as bling is concerned, I thought I'd use the lemon lolly yellow bling from the tinsel 4-pack. So this is the tinsel 4-pack. Each of these little gems actually has little pieces of tinsel inside it. So they actually, they actually sort of glint a bit. And because it's sort of an earthy sort of card, I thought, a little bit of extra bling won't hurt, just to lift it a wee bit. So we'll pop these, and I've changed the design, which is terrible. We'll pop these around. Come on, you. There we are. Okay, so that is my Abundant Beauty Decorative Mask Fussy Cutting sunflower card with ribbon. There you go. I'm proud to say, with ribbon. And I remembered to put the ribbon on, which thanks to Deb. So there's our original one. There's the one. As you can see, I decided it was too low. It needed to come up, and the ribbon was actually an afterthought. So it sort of got fed in through where I could. So that's why it's a little bit low as well. But I'm much happy with the placement of that one. It's a nice card, don't get me wrong, but I like the placement of that better. Okay, so there we are. How long did we go? I can't see that. 42 minutes. That's a pretty long one for me. So thank you for joining me, everyone. It's a bit early in the week, but I couldn't hold myself in any longer. I had to show you that because I think it's so pretty. And now I can get on with my beginner videos. So thanks for joining me that little bit early. Hopefully it hasn't mucked anyone around too much. You can get on with your day now. And so watch for me again during the week. We'll have something more, maybe something new from the new catalogue to share again. So thanks for joining me. Keep in mind I have my beginners course, my launch, and my product shares if you want to jump on board with any of those. And look forward to these in the new catalogue when that goes live on the 6th of September. So I'll see you all again next time. Have a great day, and